but it is just so critical that we remember, like, this is work, right? Like what we do is work, like, and it has to be work, right? So, but we are worth that work, right?
Right.
And that's sort of where the self-love comes in. So, David, I know we're going to hear a little bit about your story when we get into the war story portion of the show. But when you sort of got to that point in your life and your story and your journey where you realized the importance of self-love, like, what was that like for you? Were you able to apply the same discipline to that you did everything else in your life, or was that a learned process for you?
Lots of learning, lots of repetition, lots of failure. I don't know how exactly to put it, but in my darkest times, I didn't feel like I was worth what I wanted, not just what I got, right? You know, what I received, but what I wanted. I didn't think I was worth it. My actions weren't aligning with who I wanted to be, who I thought I was. And it's just a daily, you know, I think it's in the page 83 or 84 in the big book. It's like, it's a daily reprieve from the madness. And if you don't practice it every single day, you never know. It's going to wind up with a drink in my hand. That's what I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, me too. And I think that's, and I'm glad you touched on that, because it really is like it's a daily thing, right? Like, yeah. But what did it take for us to get to the point where we realized that was something we had to do every day? Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, like, a lot of pain.
A lot of pain.
You know? Well, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is part of the thing that I've realized later on. I didn't realize this early on in sobriety. You know, when the desire to get sober came along, it came along far before sobriety actually came. Mm-hmm. And part of that was these fucking people wouldn't give up on me, right? And I gave everybody zero reasons to continue loving me. And for whatever reason, you know, I'm fortunate enough that people continued loving me at my darkest. And I think that there was a magical, you know, spiritual principle in that I connected with on a subconscious level, where I could feel the love of other people pushing this need for self-love, so that I could meet them in the middle of that, right? Mm-hmm. So that I could respect their ongoing position of trying to help me out, right? And so even though, like, when I first desired getting sober, it didn't happen. Eventually it did happen through a process. I don't think we get sober without some level of self-love.
Right.
Or some desire for it, or some, you know, whatever it is, if it's subconscious or spiritual, or, you know, I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. I still don't know why me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know why me, but I think there has to be some level of self-love. And when that happens, it doesn't happen without work.
Right.
It doesn't happen without action.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm. So